Good morning, good morning, good morning, Osceola. Happy Sunday. It is Sunday, March 7th. Welcome to Positive Impacts Live. I'm Maddie. I'm your host this morning. I am so happy to be here. I host this weekend broadcast every Saturday and Sunday live on Positively Osceola at 8 a.m., bringing you all the things you need to know, local, national, and international. I'm keeping you in the know. Today's Positively Osceola broadcast is brought to you by our community partner, Kissimmee Utility Authority. So thank you to them. All right, guys, I always love to get our comment section started by letting me know where you're watching from this morning. It was a chilly 54 when I woke up here in Central Florida. So what's the weather like where you're at this morning? It's going to be a beautiful day, and we will talk about the weather at the end of my broadcast. But for now, let's officially get this morning started. Good morning again, everyone. Welcome to Positive Impact Live, your weekend broadcast with local, national, and international news. I'm Madi. It is Sunday, March 7th. Wow, I cannot believe we're already a week into March. Time is just seeming to fly by in 2021. So let's get started with our news this morning. SpaceX, a rocket prototype known as SN10, soared over South Texas during a test flight before swooping down to a pinpoint landing near its launch site. Approximately 3 minutes after perfectly landing, however, the rocket exploded on the landing pad. This SpaceX's SN10 is an early prototype of the company's Starship Mars rocket, which took off around 5:15 p.m. and climbed about 6 miles over the coastal landscape, mimicking 2 previous test flights that SpaceX has conducted that ended in an explosive crash. This test went out on Wednesday and marked the first successful landing for a Starship prototype. So it landed. It just didn't stick around too long after that. John Insprucker from SpaceX, an engineer at SpaceX, said, "We've had the successful soft touchdown on the landing pad. That's a beautiful capping of a beautiful flight test of Starship 10. It was unclear what caused the rocket to explode after landing, and the SpaceX live stream cut out just before the explosion." So it's something they need to work on over in Spaceland over there. That is crazy, but that's what these tests are for, right? To test out what is going to happen, what's going wrong before we get too invested into it. In Southwest Iceland, they are currently experiencing a swarm of seismic activity with more than 20,000 earthquakes recorded since February 24th of this year, according to Icelandic Meteorological Office. That's a big word for 8 a.m. on a Sunday, you guys. The office said that these movements are likely the cause of a current surge in the area, causing fears of a volcanic eruption. There have been more than 3,100 earthquakes on the peninsula in the past 48 hours alone, according to their office. And at least 63 of them had a magnitude of 3 or higher. A magnitude 3 earthquake can be felt but rarely causes damage. But as the number increases, the earthquakes can become more dangerous. Similar bursts of seismic activity in the country have previously caused volcanic eruptions. So the government said this could lead to volcanic eruption, but they do not want to give they don't have any indication that magma is moving closer to the surface. So hopefully that all goes well for them in Iceland. The government said on their website that if there is an eruption, it's expected to be a relatively small explosion lasting up to a few weeks. These types of eruptions, the government said, entail a small flow of lava rather than large explosion or significant ash. So just a tiny volcanic eruption, nothing to worry about. They said it's also a very low risk to populated areas and critical infrastructure. and that the country is very well prepared. Iceland has highly trained, educated, and experienced professionals in this area, the prime minister said in a statement. More important, Icelandic public is used to dealing calmly with many types of natural events related to the weather or geology. Well, I am thinking of Iceland and hoping that they don't have any volcanic eruptions. Gosh, I've always wanted to visit Iceland. I was looking for a photo to pull up for that shot there, and it's just such a beautiful country. I'd love to visit there. If you've ever been to Iceland, comment in the comment section. I'd love to know what your favorite part was about it. So schools in the UK are starting to reopen. And so as hope increases that life will soon get back to normal, there's one pandemic ritual that a lot of kids and parents are going to miss. A year ago, the coronavirus began to rage, and a fitness instructor, Joe Wicks, known as the Body Coach, started a daily exercise class for kids on YouTube called PE with Joe. I'm going to make this a little bigger so you can see. Look at his face. He's so funny. The idea was to help children stay active during the lockdown. Because this is a weird time they're in, we're going to get through it, he reassured his viewers. Everything's going to be fine. We're going to return to normal, and we're all going to be reconnected again. PE with Joe has gotten more than 100 million views on YouTube in the past year. That's in part because parents like the workout as much as the kids. Wicks drove the enthusiasm with lines like, "We're going to do some squats. Show me down, up, down, up. Can we spin like a ballerina? Ready? Spinning like a ballerina." It's a great workout. If you guys haven't checked it out, you really should. And all of his videos are still on YouTube. It's just he's not going to be producing them every day. But his classes were more than just stretches, lunges, jumping jacks, spinning. He often dressed up in costumes like Buzz Lightyear, Scooby-Doo, and the Froggy Coach. He offered quizzes and other games and classes that were frequently interrupted by his two young kids. He said, "It's all about having fun. It's a nice time for people stuck in their tiny little flats or apartments, and they need to kind of vent or some type of outlet to let some of that stress and anxiety out." But this past week on Friday, it was the final episode of PE with Joe, and he dressed up like a duck. Schools in London, where Wicks lives, are scheduled to reopen on Monday, and so it seems like the right time to wrap it up. He said, "My mission is going to continue, but I'm so tired. I've never worked this hard in my life. I've done so many workouts. It's time to rest, recover, and just see what happens in the future." So thank you to Joe, the PE guy, for all of his fun videos. You guys can check that out on YouTube if you would like to enjoy his workout routines. He is a hoot. All right, so you may be part of this these numbers that I'm about to talk about if you checked out Raya, the brand new Disney film, Raya and the Last Dragon. It has slayed opening weekend at the box office, fueled by authentic Asian promotional partners. Disney just rolled out Raya and the Last Dragon, which is arguably the first domestic theatrical hybrid release, second worldwide if you count Mulan. The animated movie, which booked at about 2,045 theaters, sans roughly about 250 Cinemark locations. And it's also hard to gauge that number because the New York City market is kind of bouncing back and forth with their theater openings. Anyway, the industry estimates that with the availability on Disney Plus, they are going to be grossing between $9 and $10 million after this weekend. So when it came time to build a roster of promotional partners, Disney's Vice President of Global Marketing Partnerships and Promotions, their team took into account the title's home audience and growing theatrical moviegoers during the pandemic. What's even more notable about Raya and the Last Dragon's campaign is not only is Disney linking up with brands that are authentically Asian and true to the spirit of the movie, but the motion picture studio is getting behind propping up a number of homegrown young advertisers. We have a great broad general market with McDonald's, LG, P&G, and Kellogg's. But they also wanted to make sure they had a mix of promotional programs with some authentic Southeast Asian brands like Omsum and Sanzo to reflect that this movie is a beautiful tribute to Southeast Asian culture. I actually have a friend that I perform with, and she does cosplay and performs as a princess performer for the Central Florida area. And she has a beautiful cosplay of Raya, and Disney sent her a premiere night at their home of the film with special merchandise, and they really we're so grateful that she was so excited about this film coming out, and it's a beautiful costume. So I'm excited to see Raya and the Last Dragon. I haven't had the chance to yet, but I am just, every time I see something about it, I've only heard great things, so I cannot wait. All right, our last bit of information for the day comes right from the Senate and the House. So a new $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill passed in the Senate, which would include $1,400 stimulus checks. There was strong support on the Democratic side and low support on the Republican side. On March 6th, the Senate passed a version of the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan. After a marathon session, the bill now heads back to the House, where it is expected to pass fairly quickly. From there, it will move on to President Biden for a final signature. The bill contains a third round of stimulus checks worth up to $14,000 per person, including dependents, and $2,800 per married couple. This would be the largest payment that Americans have received yet. As with the previous rounds of stimulus checks, the amount of money that goes to qualifying Americans is based on the adjusted gross income. People whose adjusted gross income falls under a specified level get the maximum check, while others who earn above that amount but below the upper threshold will be eligible for a reduced check. The Senate made some changes to the House bill it received earlier in the week, including reducing the upper income limits for the third round of stimulus checks. Biden called the aid package urgently needed and praised the Senate for passing it, saying that it will get the checks out the door to Americans this month. A stimulus check is a non-taxable cash payment sent to qualifying Americans by direct deposit, check, or debit card. This money can be used however you want and does not need to be repaid to the government, even if you get too much, apparently. So those that qualify for the full $1,400 check will be single filers with AGIs of $75,000 or less, head of household filers with AGIs of $112,500 or less, and married joint filers with AGIs of $150,000 or less. So that is good news. I am hoping that does pass soon and we can get a little bit of an economic boost all over our wonderful country. And here in Central Florida, that will hopefully maybe bring a boost to tourism. And that is a huge industry for us here in Central Florida. So looking forward to seeing what comes of that. And of course, Positively Osceola will be keeping you updated. So keep an eye out for any updates on whether that passes in the House and how soon we will be seeing those stimulus checks coming out. Of course, if you need any updates on anything happening in Osceola County, just be sure to check out positivelyosceola.com. We've got tons of information on there, lots of things happening. And also on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All over our Facebook, we do live interviews and talking about upcoming events. Like next weekend, I'm going to be part of the Kissimmee 5K, and then I'm going to do the St. Cloud St. Patrick's Day Parade. So there's just lots happening. And if you're looking for something to do, we've probably got it on our page ready for you to look at and see what you want to come join and be part of the fun. All right, let's get our weather going before I end our broadcast this morning. Like I said, I woke up this morning and it was in the 50s. It was so chilly. I didn't want to get out of my cozy blanket. It was so nice in there. All right, let's take a look at this weather. So today we've got a high of 70, and I'm looking at the weather for the weekend. I'm feeling like it's going to stay under 70 today. It was just so chilly out this morning, but it is a low of 49. It's going to be nice and sunny all day. And for the next couple days, Monday and Tuesday, we've got the highs in the low 70s. So some beautiful weather. And then as we get closer to the weekend, it is going to start warming up to the 80s. So this might be our last little bit of spring weather before it gets to our Florida seasons of hot and hotter, but that's okay. Sunshine is always good to me, no matter the temperature. So I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Let me know what you're doing with this beautiful weather this weekend. As always, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and check out our website, Positively Osceola. Like I said, we've got all the up-to-date information on everything happening in and around Osceola County. That wraps it up for me here on Positive Impact Live. I hope you guys have an awesome Sunday. And be sure to tune in with me every Saturday and Sunday morning for Positive Impact Live at 8 a.m. here on Positively Osceola. You can also tune into Good Morning Osceola with Morgan Cook Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Again, for all that up-to-date info. I am so proud to be part of a team like Positively Osceola, where we are making a positive impact in and around Osceola County. Have a great weekend, guys. I will see you on Saturday. Bye.